Have you ever wondered what year it is? For most of us, the answer is simple. But what if I told you that in one part of the world, it's not 2024, but 2016? Welcome to Ethiopia, a country that marches to the beat of its own drum, or in this case, its own calendar. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Ethiopian calendar, a system that's 7 to 8 years behind the one most of us use. Why the difference? How does it work? And what does it mean for the people who live by it every day? Get ready to have your concept of time turned upside down. So, where did this unique calendar come from? To understand it, we need to travel back in time, way back to ancient Egypt. The Ethiopian calendar, also known as the Geese calendar, has its roots in the Coptic calendar of Alexandria, which itself was derived from the ancient Egyptian calendar. These ancient systems were incredibly sophisticated. Based on the sun cycle, they calculated a year as 365 days, but they also knew it was slightly longer. The key difference, the one that creates this time gap, comes down to one pivotal moment in history, the calculation of Jesus Christ's birth. Around 525 AD, a monk named Dionysius Exiguus created the Anno Domini system that the Gregorian calendar is based on. He calculated the year of Jesus' birth and started counting from there. However, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, a powerful and ancient institution, held onto an earlier calculation. They believed Jesus was born 7 years earlier than the date determined by Dionysius. So, while the rest of the world adjusted its timeline, Ethiopia did not. They stuck to their ancient roots and their own theological calculations. This isn't a mistake or a case of being behind. It's a conscious decision to preserve a unique historical and religious heritage. It's a testament to Ethiopia's long history as an independent nation, one that was never colonized and therefore never forced to adopt Western systems like the Gregorian calendar. Now let's break down the structure, because this is where it gets really interesting. While the Gregorian calendar has 12 months with varying lengths of 28, 29, 30, or 31 days, the Ethiopian calendar is beautifully simple and consistent. It consists of 12 months, each with exactly 30 days. You heard that right, every single month has 30 days. No more 30 days have September, rhymes to remember. This makes planning and organizing things incredibly straightforward. So, you might be wondering, 12 months of 30 days equals 360 days. What about the other 5 or 6 days in a year? This is where the magic happens. After the 12 months are over, there's a special 13th month called Pagum. This mini-month lasts for 5 days in a common year and 6 days in a leap year, which occurs every 4 years, just like in the Gregorian system. Pagum is considered a time of celebration, reflection, and preparation for the new year. It's a bridge between the old year and the new, a sacred period for spiritual renewal. The name itself comes from a Greek word meaning forgotten days, which perfectly captures its unique role in filling the gap to complete the solar cycle. This 13-month structure is a hallmark of the Ethiopian calendar, making it one of the very few solar calendars in the world to feature this. One of the most vibrant ways the Ethiopian calendar shapes life is through its holidays. The New Year, called Enkitas, is a huge celebration. Unlike the Gregorian New Year on January 1st, Enkitas falls on what is September 11th for the rest of the world, or September 12th in a leap year. This date marks the end of the long rainy season and the beginning of spring, a time when the highlands of Ethiopia are covered in bright yellow mescal daisies. The name Enkitas means gift of jewels, and it's a time for family gatherings, feasting, and children receiving gifts of money or bread. It's a festival of light, hope, and new beginnings, deeply connected to the natural cycles of the land. Then there's Christmas, or Jenna, which is celebrated on January 7th, not December 25th. This is because the Ethiopian Orthodox Church follows the older Julian calendar for its religious festivals, similar to other Orthodox churches around the world. Jenna is a deeply spiritual holiday, marked by all-night church services, processions, and traditional games. People dress in white traditional clothing called a shama and attend services that can last for hours, filled with chanting and prayer. It's less about commercialism and more about faith and community. Another major festival is Timkat, or Epiphany, which falls on January 19th. This is one of the most colorful and spectacular festivals in Ethiopia, commemorating the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan River. Over several days, replicas of the Ark of the Covenant, known as tablets, are paraded from churches to a nearby body of water. The processions are filled with thousands of people, priests in ornate robes, chanting, drumming, and dancing. It's a powerful expression of faith that draws visitors from all over the globe. A stunning visual spectacle that is entirely dictated by the dates of the Ethiopian calendar. But the calendar's influence goes far beyond just holidays. It's woven into the very fabric of daily life. Imagine you're an Ethiopian living in Addis Ababa. Your birth certificate, your driver's license, your school records, and your work contracts are all dated according to the Ethiopian calendar. When you make a doctor's appointment or file your taxes, you're using this 13-month system. For Ethiopians, this is simply how time works. It's the default, the norm. The real challenge, and where things can get a bit confusing, is in the interaction with the outside world. In an increasingly globalized society, Ethiopia operates on two time systems simultaneously. International business, aviation, and diplomacy often require using the Gregorian calendar. So, many Ethiopians, especially in urban areas and professional settings, become adept at code switching between calendars. They have to constantly mentally convert dates. If a foreign colleague schedules a meeting for April 25th, an Ethiopian has to calculate what that corresponds to in their own month of New Year's Year. It's a cognitive skill that becomes second nature. This duality is a perfect symbol of modern Ethiopia, a nation proud of its ancient heritage while simultaneously engaging with the global community. This unique calendar also has a profound impact on history. When you read Ethiopian historical texts or look at ancient manuscripts, all the dates are recorded using the Ge'ez calendar. To accurately understand Ethiopian history, one must be able to interpret these dates correctly and convert them to the Gregorian system for comparison with world events. It protects a unique historical narrative, ensuring that Ethiopia's story is told on its own terms and in its own time. It means that when an Ethiopian historian studies a document from the 19th century, their understanding of the timeline is inherently different from that of a European historian studying the same period. This chronological independence is a subtle but powerful assertion of cultural identity. So, let's do a quick side-by-side comparison. The Gregorian calendar is a solar calendar with 12 months of irregular length, adopted by most of the world for civil purposes. It's named after Pope Gregory XIII, who introduced it in 1582 as a reform of the Julian calendar. The Ethiopian calendar is also a solar calendar, but with 13 months, 12 of 30 days, and 1 of 5 or 6 days. It maintains an older calculation for the birth of Christ, placing it about 7 years and 8 months behind the Gregorian count. While the Gregorian calendar's New Year is fixed on January 1st, Ethiopia's New Year, Inkitash, moves with the seasons and falls on September 11th or 12th. One is a global standard, the other is a powerful symbol of national and religious identity. Ultimately, the Ethiopian calendar is so much more than just a different way of counting days. It's a living, breathing piece of history. It's a declaration of cultural independence, a reflection of deep-seated faith, and a framework that shapes the rhythm of life for over 120 million people. It reminds us that our perception of time, something we often take for granted, is a cultural construct. There isn't one correct way to measure a year. The existence of the Ethiopian calendar challenges us to think differently about history, culture, and our place in the world. It's a beautiful example of how a nation can preserve its ancient traditions while navigating the complexities of the modern world. So the next time someone asks you what year it is, you can tell them, well, it depends on where you are in a small corner of our interconnected world. Time flows differently, guided by ancient wisdom and a 13th month of sunshine. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through time in Ethiopia. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more stories from around the world, and share this video with someone who might be surprised to learn what year it really is. See you in the next one.